Hey everybody, and welcome to Ages Cozy Crochet Corner, where today on the corner we're going to be doing bucket hats. So we're going to be using granny squares to make this hat. And I wanted to do this hat because one of our Crochet Fam asked if I could do it. So I'm happy to do it, and I wanted to make something to match my sweater. This is my earthquake sweater. Earthquake, you say? Well, in Philly we had an earthquake, which is a big deal because we don't get earthquakes. So I sat down, watched the news, and made this fabulous sweater. And I thought what best to go with this sweater than this hat. So we're going to get right into this tutorial. What we're going to be needing is some yarn. I'm pretty much using scrap yarn for this project. It didn't take much. The most you see is the white, and for that you might need a larger amount, but we're going to get right to the table. This is going to be quick, this is going to be easy, and let's go have some crochet fun. Okay, so I am at the table and I have everything I need in order to make my bucket hat. My granny squares are going to be 5 rounds, and I'm doing one of each of these colors, and my round just as you see here, and white will be on the outside of all of the granny squares. We're going to need 5 granny squares. I'm using a 5mm hook. I use medium 4 worsted weight yarn for this project, and most of this is scrap yarn, so it's not like you need that much. What you need most of is going to be like this white color, where you're going to have a lot of that around your whole project. So at least a scheme of that, but very little yarn is used here. And my granny square is 6 inches. So we have everything. Don't forget your yarn needle in order to weave in your ends. And of course you'll need some scissors to cut your yarn. So I'm going to build one granny square on camera because we're not going to assume everyone knows how to build a granny square. All right. So this is my quick version of building a granny square. If you like it a little bit more slowed down, then you'll find a link to a granny square tutorial on this page as well. So I want to take my yarn and I'm just going to wrap my hook around. That's how I begin. And chain 1 and pull up. Now I'm going to begin chaining up 3. So I have my chain of 3. I'm going to go into the first chain, grab my yarn, and come through. Now this space in between, I'm going to pull that down and then come out the other side with a slip stitch. Now this small circle is my foundation, where I'm going to build 4 clusters of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. We want to chain up. This is going to hold for our first double crochet. We'll now go back into this center, grab our yarn, and come up and make 2 more double crochet. Okay, so that I have my first cluster of 3 double crochets. I want to chain 1 and go back into the circle and make 3 double crochets. And chain 1. And now I want to go back into the circle again and make 3 double crochets. And chain 1 again, and last time 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 right here that I began with. Grab my yarn, pull through, and pull through on the other side. I'm going to cut my yarn. I am done with that color. Grab my yarn and pull it through, pull it tight. That's it. Now I'm just going to pick a corner, because each one of these are now corners. Well, those chain 1 spaces we just created, all right, they are all our corners. So I'm going to pick one of those spaces, go through, and get my next color. Okay, I'm just adding on my yarn, pulling it through that corner and chaining up 3. And I'm going to go back into that same corner and make 2 more double crochets. All right, these 3 double crochets count as half of my corner. When I come all the way back around, we will finish this corner. So now I'm going to go from this corner right into the next corner. So the next chain 1 space we have here, we want to put our hook there, grab our yarn and come up and make a double crochet. And we're going to make 2 more double crochets. Chain 1, we're going right back into that same corner. And we're going to make 3 more double crochets. So our corners are 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to find our next corner, which is right here, and we're going to go right in there. And make our corner again, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. And again, our corner, we go into the chain 1 space and make 3 double crochets. Ooh, what's going on? Chain 1 and 3 double crochets. Now we come back around to the one that we did not complete, right? So all we do is go right in the one we did not complete, and we just put 3 double crochets and chain 1 into that same space. So we'll get our 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we begin with. We're done with this color. We're going to cut our yarn. And chain 1, pull through. Now you see it. So we have our corners. We're just going to keep going around putting our corners, but we're going to get these little pockets just like here. We're going to increase. So we're going to start having more of the little pockets right here. And in those pockets, we want to put 3 double crochets. Our corners will get what our corners got, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And that's it. No chain 1 spaces in between any of our other clusters, only in the corner. So I hope you got that. I'm going to go ahead and build the rest of this. 2, 3, and then we'll be ready to assemble them. So remember, one more time, corners get corners. But that first one, we're only going to do half of the corner. We'll finish that corner up when we come back around. And all of these little pockets in between our corners, they'll get more and more. As we go on to the next row, we'll have more. And the row after that, more. And when we get to our corners, we want to do the 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. So again, I have another tutorial on the slowed down super beginner version of making a granny square, but I just wanted to show you just to make sure you know that we're not putting any chain 1s in between all of our spaces, only in our corner space. chain 1, and then we go back in to finish our corner. So I think you got this. I'm going to go ahead and finish this row and build my next 2 rows, and then we'll begin with assembling our hat. Okay, so I finished all of my squares. I got that last one done. So you see, this is going to be the center one. This one is at the top of your head, and we're going to connect all of these like this. So you want to do a simple join from here to here, and then from here to here, here to here, and then here to here. All right, I'm just going to be joining simply, and you can join on the inside or the outside. For this bucket hat, we are joining on the outside. So we want all our pieces facing the right way. And I'm going to enter into the corner here and enter the corner there and grab my white yarn and pull through both. Then I'm going to slip that and go right back in and come back up and actually make my single crochet. And now all I'm doing is joining this all the way down, matching stitch for stitch, making a single crochet. So here's the first stitch here, and I'm going to go in the first one in the back, and we're just going to make a single crochet. So it's a simple join. And I'm going to do that all the way to this corner. So this is my last stitch. I'm going in the corner here and in the corner here. I'm just making that single crochet. So now this is all joined. I'm not even going to take this off. I'm just going to add the other one on and give it a slight turn. Now I want to go through the corner on this one. But remember, this is our top one on the top of our head. I'm still going through that same corner. So I'm going to go again through this one's corner in order to join that on there. Right, like that. And then I'm just going to keep going around. So I'm matching my stitches all the way around. And when I get to the next corner, I'll join this, and then I'll bring this one in, and this will join in this corner as well to this corner, and then we'll bring the next one in. Okay, so you just want to go all the way around this whole hat, just joining these squares all the way around this one square. Let's go ahead and add all of those on to this one square. Okay, so I am finished here. So I'm going to slip stitch in the next one, bringing that all the way around. So I'm going in the next corner just to slip stitch, just so it's brought all the way around, and it looks like we did continue around in this circle. And that's it. I'm going to pull that, and now we just have to join each of these. So we're joining each of these. So you want to just go down either from the bottom up or the top down, starting in the corner, just that one line. So I'm going to start from the top, really grab my yarn, pull it through, chain one, and go back into that corner, both corners, grab my yarn, and then make that single crochet, pull that down. And then we just want to single crochet, matching stitch for stitch from here all the way to this corner. Then we'll cut off and do each one section just like that. Okay. Okay, so now that we have all of our sides at squares joint together in all ways, okay, I just smushed it down so we can look at it like this. Now we have our hat. We just have to make our brim now. So I want to turn it on so it's facing me because I'm going to be going that way. All right, so I want to pick a spot. I'm just going to pick right here. I'm going to enter into that stitch, grab my yarn, pull through, chain one, and then I'm just going to go right back into that stitch and make my single crochet. And I'm just going to single crochet all the way around this whole hat. And on my next row, that is the row I'll, do increases. But that first row, you want to go make sure we're going in the corners. All right, so when we do our corners, when I do my corners, I go on my corners 2 times. So that's 1 single crochet in the corner and then 2. And here, 1 single crochet and here 2. Okay, so in the corner areas, then you want to pick right back up doing your single crochet. So remember, in the corners you're doing 2 single crochets and not 1. And when I get to my second row, just decide if I want it to be roughly or if I want it to just kind of be straight. But we do increases on the next row other than in the corner. This row we're just doing increases in the corner because we don't want this to get drawn in and be tight at this base of the hat. So corner 2 and try to work over some of these ends here as I go around. All right, so I'll finish going all the way around and I'll meet you back at the beginning. All right, so I am at my last stitch, so I want to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet. And now here's where you get creative as you wish. Now I'm going to chain up 1, and into that first one I'm just going to right back where we started, where we slip stitch. We're going to go right in there and I'm going to chain and I'm going to single crochet. So how much of a ripple that you want, you're going to increase as necessary. Me, I don't want too much of a ripple, so what I'm going to do is every other stitch I'm going to increase. So that first stitch I just put 1 single crochet in. That second stitch I'm going to put 2. And the next stitch I'll put 1. And the next stitch I'll put 2 single crochets. And the next stitch I'll put 1. And the next stitch I'll put 2 single crochets. So I'm going to alternate 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around the hat till I get back here. It does not matter if you stop on a single crochet or 1, it'll all flow together. So just go all the way around until you get back here. Okay, so I've come to my last stitch right there. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the single crochet that I began with, and I'm just going to chain 1. And then I'm going to go into the next stitch and keep doing my single crochets all the way around. Now, at this point, you can try your hat on and see if you like how your brim is going. I like that straight brim. At this point, this is pretty much a straight brim, or will come out a straight brim all the way around. If you want more of a ruffle, then you want to keep increasing. So I'm going to give a slight increase. I did 1 and then 2. So now I'm going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase, just to show you how much it'll give. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to do an increase. 2 single crochets, and then in the next one an increase. All right, so 2 single crochets and then an increase. So this row all the way around, I'm going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase, and then I'm not going to increase anymore. I just want to show you that how it'll change if you keep increasing it, because we could have started with 2 single crochets right from the beginning and kept doing that, and that would give us deep ripples all the way around our hat. But I want just a nice flow to my hat. So this row, 2 single crochets and then an increase in the third, and keep repeating that. Okay, so I finished that row, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet I did, chain 1, and then go right back into that stitch and make another single crochet. Now I'm done. You see I have a little ruffle, little ruffle. I'm good because I don't want too much of a ruffle. I want my hat to pretty much be straight, but with a little give. So I'm going to keep going around with single crochets. This is the part if you want to continue with a ruffle, then go ahead. But I'm going to just go around doing single crochets on every single row. So we're going to begin and start our row, stop our rows the same way we have been. Now once I get it to the length that I want, then I'll stop. All right, and I'll let you know how many rows I did. I've already added 3 rows, so we'll see how many more rows I add on, and all of this is to personal taste. Okay, all right. Okay, so I've gone all the way around my hat. I actually had to add this here as a little stitch marker because it was getting to be too white. I couldn't see where I was ending clearly. And I'm just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet on that row. And now I'm done. So I'm going to cut my yarn and chain 1, pull through, and get this out the way. And that is done. This hat has a light ripple on it. So now the only thing I have to do is weave in all of the ends. And that is it. That is all. This hat is finished. And let's look at it again on the head. And check it out. Thanks for watching. Okay, everybody, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had fun bringing you this tutorial and making this hat. And I know you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. You want to see this sweater more. So I'm going to post some pictures after this of this back of the sweater. My husband's like, stop talking about the sweater. We're here for the hat. I know, but I love this sweater. Until next time, you all, I will see you in the comment section. Much love. See you later.